Hi, and thanks for joining me. And thanks to Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial in downtown LaSalle for her long-term sponsorship of this weekly video and radio project. You know where I am? I'm right near the barrier that was placed in the Illinois River near Starved Rock. It's here to allow for the natural growth of ecology in the area. The project began in February, and it was projected to be done by late summer or early fall in time for hunting season. Well, the 6-month project is about to be completed in about half the expected time. The project manager from the Army Corps of Engineers tells me he was just on site this week, and he's beyond pleased with how it's all moving along. They even had to stop work for several days when the river flooded. That's how it should be done. Not like this. Hey, I'm not comparing a tear down and rebuild with piling a bunch of rock into a wall formation in the river. Completely different projects, obviously, but this 5 years late and counting, 5 years of false starts, sporadic work for a couple of days every time we talk about it on the air or make a video about it. You watch, they'll get back to work once this posts. They always have anyway. CL Enterprises has once again failed to meet a commitment to complete the renovations of the building here on the corner of 1st and Joliet Streets in LaSalle, and they say they've started work on the dangerous brick pile that's the former Hotel Kaskaskia. You'll see that place in a minute. But no, they'd prefer not to say what's actually happening here. After all, why start actually cooperating and being candid with the city when they've been so successful at just playing us for fools? Now, for a while, a guy by the name of Nathan Watson was the public face of the clearly unstable potential death trap that's the Kaskaskia, the perpetual working project known as the renovation to the Maytag building. Nathan Watson appeared before the LaSalle City Council years ago and said the Maytag building would be done by the fall of that year, 2019, and I believe that. And that was the first time I think that I heard him speak. And he was making the city a promise, but it was a promise that he couldn't keep. Not a lie, by the way. We have nothing to confirm that he didn't completely believe that deadline was possible at the time. So fall came and went, right? We entered January of 2020, then February, and then COVID hit and everything seemed to stop in March of 2020. So it was a good thing that Nathan Watson had kept his word to have the Maytag building done by the end of 2019, right? In fact, very little had changed, obviously. So as we entered the pandemic in March of 2020, not done, called Nathan Watson and asked what the delay was. At this point, I was still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Delays can happen. Now here's where Nathan Watson lost me. He could have been a stand-up guy and owned up to their inability to get it done for whatever reason. But he decided to go another way. No, Nathan Watson decided to try to tell me that they couldn't get the project done on time in 2019 because of COVID. COVID was to blame for the delay in the fall of 2019. COVID, which wouldn't hit our shores for months following the completion date he had said was in place. I'm sure he thought he was running intellectual circles around a hick reporter, right? What do I know? Except that my work experience, Nathan Watson, includes a good amount of time coaching C-level executives for high-stakes TV appearances and major speeches, and I would have walked away from you and your whole company if I'd been unlucky enough to be engaged to help you tell the truth. Now, despite regularly hearing how much this community is fed up with them, it sure looks like CL Enterprises thinks LaSalle needs them. The irony is we would be so much better without you. Just tell us the truth. Admit what we can all see, that at best CL Enterprises is oblivious to the anger of their community toward them. That's what it looks like. And that at worst, they're showing their outright contempt for their community with every missed deadline and with every new business they open somewhere else but here. Now, I know the mayor, the aldermen, staff members to some degree in the city of LaSalle. I live here, and I have for a few years since I came back from California. So it hurts me a lot to say that from here it looks like CL is playing us all hard. To the average resident like me, it looks like LaSalle is either scared of the company or scared of the family that the company comes from, so they let them get away with everything they want. I haven't seen anything to the contrary. Now, CL may be an out-of-control spoiled brat, the Donald Trump of rinky-dink companies, certainly, but on this issue, LaSalle is the careless parent. who hasn't yet come up with a way to get the little monster under control immediately. Get creative, guys. Spend some money on someone who can not only help us get out from under CL Enterprises, but can also make them wish they hadn't taken us for granted in the first place. Now, look, I'm sure it's not as easy as I'm saying it is. I'm no lawyer, but I do have common sense. And you can't tell me that LaSalle has put its residents in such a position that the city needs to resign themselves to being under CL Enterprises' thumb one more day. Please tell us, LaSalle, you're not just rolling over like a meek puppy for a bully who has a leash. You wouldn't just roll over for them, right, LaSalle? I decided to lay off CL Enterprises when they signed a new agreement last year to have the Maytag building done by this month. And I really only picked up the story again when I noticed in August that it looked like not a lot had been done yet. That's a Tom's Take video from last August. You can find it and all my other weekend videos at the YouTube channel for Starved Rock Media. But in that recording, I acknowledged one thing in CL Enterprises' favor. They do have to build where people are. And there are more people in other areas where they have restaurants or brew pubs, whatever it is. But in doing that, they've shown nothing but contempt for us here. CL Enterprises has destroyed, and I mean destroyed, whatever goodwill it had here in their home city. And if they're going to do this to all of us, their town, their neighbors, what are they capable of in places where the people don't know them and how they operate in these other towns they're building in? And I'm going to tie it all up like this. I'm not a real fan of the phrase, believe in LaSalle, okay? Belief in your town should be voluntary, not suggested like propaganda. Okay? So I would be more inclined to believe in LaSalle if LaSalle were to show us that they put citizens over one enterprise. Fix the situation, LaSalle, and maybe you wouldn't need to tell us to believe in you. I'm going to believe in a place when I know that the place is hearing residents, the larger business community of productive business people, and not sacrificing our image and our future every day we roll over for a company that's left us with no option but to conclude they can't stand LaSalle. Maybe stop telling us to believe in LaSalle and just tell this one problem child to leave LaSalle. Not believe in LaSalle, leave LaSalle. See, CL Enterprises, we might be hicks here, but at least we can do math. And LaSalle minus CL is positive. Look, all these opinions are mine, right? You don't have to like what I have to say, certainly. A lot of people don't. I hear about it. Please give me a call on the station's business line after the morning show if you'd like to talk it over. I'd like to talk to you about it. I'm happy to. I enjoy interacting with all of you. Or call me with other story ideas too. That's what Tom's Take is. Thanks to Kathleen Whalen of Whalen Financial in LaSalle for sponsoring Tom's Take as always. And I'll talk to you in the morning.